Hello, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today in our French lesson. So, of course, we're going to have, as you can see, some background music going. Although you can't see it, I did change the background into a different image. Let me see if I have it in the foreground or as an overlay. No, I don't. Let me just add it to the overlay so that you guys can see what it is that I'm talking about and that I have in my foreground. Actually, I just added it as the original. There we go. So let's see if it adds as the original gift. Yeah, there you go. Why not go with that, right? So now you guys have my little French going on, my little French guy. Or I could just have this little image of him in the back there. Hopefully. I wish you could just like move the StreamYard, like the solo view, and just like move it to the side and kind of have yourself on the side kind of thing. But I guess for now that's not possible. But hey, one can dream, one can dream. Although I guess when I pause, I can always go to the GIF or GIF. I call it GIFs. That's what I'm going with, GIFs. You don't like it, tough luck. Actually, I'll just put that just for my own amusement. I'll put that as a poll, so that way, if anybody comes in, just as the gag question. There you go. Let me help people enjoy that little gag. Let them get the French look. It always makes me laugh seeing this guy. I have no idea who this guy is. I like it. I find it funny. My sense of humor. What can I tell you? All right. So while I continue to crack myself up, today, of course, we're going to continue with our French lessons. And of course, I do have a little bit of a special here. I did find an audio book of Les Miserables where we're going to listen to a little bit in the original French. But of course, I will have um, the text showing so that way you guys can read and hopefully learn at the same time. I'll let it play for a little bit. Obviously, I can't go too much into it because obviously it's still to some degree copyrighted, so I can't go too far into all that stuff. So if you guys afterwards are watching this and are not see, excuse me, not seeing or hearing the clip, as you guys will know, it's because I edited it out. So just in case, I'll add it to the chat so that way anybody who wants to watch the video of Les Miserables, you guys will be able to go through that. So I'll even pin it just to be sure that anybody. So if you guys are seeing this on the replay, check out the pinned uh, comment in the chat. Hopefully, you guys, the replay of the chat is still there, and you guys will be able to go and actually check it out. So, of course, we're going to begin our French lesson with the typical thing that we, of course, always start with, which is, of course, greeting each other with our obviously typical bonjour, comment ça va? Hello, how are you? At this point, guys, this is something you all should already know and be telling me already. So, obviously, guys, when you're in my chats, you're more than welcome to type this out, regardless of whether it's this particular chat or live series or any of my live series. Don't be shy, I don't mind. So if you are a French speaker or you're trying to practice the French that I'm teaching, feel free to greet me with a bonjour, comment ça va? Even if you don't spell it absolutely perfectly, I'll let you know, I'll correct you so that you can improve, and we will hopefully have a full on conversation one day in French. All right, so bonjour, comment ça va? Hello, how are you? So, of course, we would respond and actually answer. And there are different ways to answer, but of course, we're going to answer with a very basic of I'm doing well, which would be exactly this. Je vais bien. I'm doing well. You got to kind of keep it simple, keep it to the point, right? Doesn't have to be fancy. Of course, there are other ways, other answers. But of course, we're trying to keep this very polite today and very Canadian. So we're not going to be like, I'm doing effing horrible or da, 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 da. That's not the kind of French I want you guys to be saying to each other. All right, I want you guys to be wonderful little Canadian citizens like myself. All right, or else you'll have where wait a second, let me get my you have Mister Gift Guy giving you the side eye like what kind of French are you talking about here? I always find his facial expression really funny. All right, just my little jokes to me. So of course you can also respond with this, which is je vais très bien aujourd'hui. I'm doing very well. And now of course we would ask the other person how they're doing. Okay, because we're nice people, right? And I'm sure it's not just me, the Canadian, that's a nice person. I'm sure all of you are doing well as well. And you want to know that your friends, your family member, or somebody, maybe you just met them, right? That they're also doing well. So, of course, you're going to ask them, and you, et toi, which are the two last words, et toi. So, we're going to go with the whole sentence now. Je vais très bien aujourd'hui. Et toi? I'm doing very well today. And you? Je vais bien. Je vais très bien. So très, the third word, très bien. Aujourd'hui. Et toi? All right. So we're going to review a couple little things that we learned in other lessons. So of course, if you want to tell a woman or a little girl that she's beautiful, we would say vous êtes jolie. You are beautiful. Okay? Vous êtes jolie. You are other two person. Jolie is beautiful. Vous êtes jolie. Now, of course, I mean, you might want to compliment your boyfriend. Maybe he, cut his hair. Maybe you like his bedhead, whatever the case might be. And you want to, let him know that, hey, you know what? You look good. You look good too. So you would tell the man, vous êtes beau. You are handsome. Vous êtes beau. So you are, okay? Because you're obviously telling somebody. So you want to make it clear to that particular person that you're telling him that they're good looking. Vous êtes beau. So, vous êtes jolie if you want to tell a woman that she's good looking or that you find her attractive, right? And vous êtes beau if there is a man that you want to tell him that he's attractive. Now, again, I try not to make any kind of judgment or decision as to. Excuse me, it's been a very long day. I just yawned. Excuse me. I try not to make any judgments as to whose company you enjoy. So if you're a guy saying this to a guy, that's up to you. Like I said, I make no judgments. Love is love as far as I'm concerned. So today, like I said, we're going to listen to a little bit of a sampling of Les Miserables or The Miserables. So, of course, this is a French book that was written quite a few years ago, and that was turned into a very big hit movie. There were a lot of actors and actresses sang, some to, excuse me, some to praises, and oh, they're really, really wonderful. Others where it's like, yeah, I mean, maybe please don't sing. But this is, of course, an extract from an audiobook version of Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. So we're going to play, like I said, just a few moments of it. We're not going to play all of it. I just want to give you guys a little audio sampling of it. And of course, for that, I'm going to turn off momentarily at least the music in my background here. Bye bye, music. Thank you for being here for a few moments. And then, of course, I'm going to share my screen again just to play a little bit of the audiobook. Not too much. Now, I could have gone with another version where I could have, I felt safe playing through it a lot longer, but that version did not have the text that was shown, and I kind of felt that it was important for me to have that while playing the audio book, so you can not only not only hear the words but also see them as well. So I'm just going to share the screen with you guys momentarily here. I'll just do one little thing to put that. Here we are. Okay. Hello, hello, Rob Albanks. How you doing? Thank you for being here. Merci beaucoup, mon ami. And I hope that you're going to enjoy this little bit of French lessons I have for you today. I'm just going to change my place here, put myself there. So I'm going to play a little bit of an audiobook from Les Miserables in the original French. Okay. So, Rob, I hope you enjoy this and I hope you had a great Monday. And I hope this week is going to be a wonderful week for yourself. So we're going to go ahead and start playing a little bit. Like I said, I won't play too much, even though this is um, based on the open source version. It's still on somebody else's YouTube channel, so I don't want to get copyright striked. So I'll play just very little of it, not too much, just so that you guys can hear and see the French, right? Because I think it's also important that you guys hear other people's accents and get a sense of how French can be. Um, that there's different tones, different audibility of it, right? Just like with English, when somebody from the UK talks, it's going to sound very different from when somebody like myself, who's Canadian, speaks English, or an American, or whatever the case might be, right? There are different accents in every single language, or at least most languages, right? So we're gonna play a little bit, like I said, maybe 30 seconds to a minute of it, no more, okay?
Chapitre 1. Monsieur Myriel. En 1815, Monsieur Charles-François Bienvenu Myriel était évêque de Digne. C'était un vieillard d'environ 75 ans. Il occupait le siège de Digne depuis 1806. Quoique ce détail ne touche en aucune manière au fond même de ce que nous avons à raconter, il n'est peut-être pas inutile, ne fût-ce que pour être exact en tout, d'indiquer ici les bruits et les propos qui avaient couru sur son compte au moment où il était arrivé dans le diocèse.
Okay, and then that's it. That's all we're gonna play for a little bit. So we're just gonna scroll back a little bit just to get back to where we started. We'll play it without the sound so I can just get to the exact good spot where we can really see text. And we're just gonna pause it here. So again, I'm not gonna, didn't want to, sound. The show isn't for you guys to have the whole audio book and just, listen to the audio book. I did link the audio book in the chat. So Rob, you're more than welcome afterwards if you really want to listen to Les Miserables in French. You can always go afterwards to that particular link and listen to it as much as you want to. Feel free. Let me check this version. It's I think they separated. It's 50 minutes, so nearly an hour. This particular. I think it's just like they sectioned it off into several different parts. But anyways, so we're just gonna go through a little bit here, not too much. I just wanted to have a little bit going here, so that you guys have at least something to learn. So here we are. So the very, very first line that you see all the way on top, right? It's two words, which is livre premier, the first book. Okay? Livre premier, first book. Okay? Because for those of you who don't know, Les Miserables is an epically large book. I've never read it to myself. Um, if you think War and Peace was a very long and large book, imagine two or three versions of that book all in one, just to tell one story. That's that's Les Miserables. Okay, it's two or three uh, War and Peace together. Okay, so when French talk, they talk. They talk a lot. It's a language of talkers. That's why a lot of people say, about me that like, oh my god, you really could talk about anything and everything. I was like, yeah, I speak French. It's about it's hard to get us to not talk, and I, even though sometimes I was, speaking with Lasha Sterney, or like I think she went from maybe 3 weeks ago having 900 watch hours to now over 2,000. I'm like, how the hell did you manage that? And I'm like, well, she does her lives of like, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours and has 5, 10 people. So of course, when you have 5, 10 people watching 8, 9 hours, that's 90 hours here, 100 hours there, whatever, right? Well, as me, it's like I say a lot, but I say a lot in 30 minutes. And yeah, so I mean, I really have to fight not to have a 3 hour live talking about anything and everything. Although I'm seeing her climb up to the watch hour, she's already maybe 600 away from me, and it's like probably another 2, 3 lives she'll beat me and completely wipe wipe the floor with me. But hey, that's the nature of the game, right? She does have very long lives with very interesting topics, and well deserved in her praise and her getting up there. So, you know, although sometimes I do admit I get a little bit jealous. It's like I want those hours too. Come on. But hey, that's the nature of the game. So she definitely works hard to get her YouTube channel going. So I'm really happy for her, and at least if anybody's gonna succeed, I'm glad it's her. Anyways, back to our French lesson. So livre premier, first book. So like I said, Les Miserables does have several tomes or several books, right? I believe there's three if I remember correctly, but at the very least there's two, and I think uh, each one is good 800 to 1,000 pages, and it's not the larger size print. The words are fairly small here. Okay, so the next two words that you see is un juste So a just or just person, right? So obviously, um, and here with these two things, it implies that at least part of the first book is talking about what happens to somebody who's just, right? Because if you guys don't know some of uh, the plot of Les Miserables, it's you're dealing with one of the many French revolutions, where of course they go after one of the many royal families or ruling families of France, and really trying to get rid of the elite and really make France a more of a republic where ideally the average common man can earn their way to the top, right? And that when things happen, there's a reason, there's justice, there's equality in the world, and the right people get sent to where they deserve. So if you deserve to be in prison, that's where you are. If you deserve to be, a multimillionaire, whatever, that's what you receive, right? So obviously, like a lot of countries that go through, a royal family that dominates and really makes you feel weak. Of course, there's going to be uprisings that end in violence and bloodshed, and not really good wholesome places. I would not want to be in France in some parts of its history, including when this is supposed to be occurring. So 1700s, early 1800s France may not necessarily be the best place for everybody. All right, so we're not gonna. This is the number six. So in French, you would say six. All right, so six, six. All right, chapitre un, chapter one. Right. So sometimes that's the beauty of French. Um, Sometimes it's just a question of pronunciation. So there is the word just spelled exactly like this, right? That you're seeing, or just a just. In some cases, you do have to make a difference. So un is a, so just a just or a just person, right? So here, just a just. The a implies that you're talking about a person, okay, not necessarily. You're not going to say an orange is just, or you know uh, a dog is just, right? Usually, if somebody in French, if you say uh, un juste, you're really talking about a person, okay? Because you're in here, it implies that it's sort of like the difference between an adjective or an adverb or a noun, right? It's really talking about a person here. You know, uh, there's that nuance that you're talking about a person. Okay, so chapter one, chapitre un, Monsieur Myriel. Monsieur Myriel. So MM, Monsieur Myriel, or Mr. Mireille, I don't know, Muriel. Now, Mireille could easily be a woman's name, Mireille. And I intentionally exaggerated my pronunciation at the end of it because Mireille is the LLE is a woman's name. So when a man's name ends with L, okay, a lot of times if you want to make it into a woman's name, most often than not, you would add LE to the end. That's how you would make it a woman's name. So you're basically um, when you want to pronounce it, you basically, that's why I was exaggerating it. Instead of saying Monsieur Mireille and then sort of ending more abruptly at the end, it becomes Madame or Mademoiselle. If you're talking, Madame is, obviously an older woman or married woman, or Mademoiselle is a woman up to about maybe 16, 17, or unmarried, right? Mireille, Mireille. So you see, I continued a little bit at the end there. Mireille, I sort of ended the name abruptly almost, right? Or Mireille. So obviously, with a man's name, tends to be a little bit more abrupt, more brusque, more rough around the edges, while at Mireille is more softened and delicate, right? So we're gonna do the first sentence here for tonight. Keeping it short, given Lash's journey the opportunity to catch up my hours and beat my hours. Like I said, I realized that look, I'm like, oh, I'm not making up my hours. I'm making up not, but I'm like, look, I do, lives of half an hour, 45 minutes at most. My days of doing, 6, 7, 8 hours are really done. Especially now that I am, at work 40 hours. Kind of tough to do 6, 7, 8 hour live streams. You know, uh, every day on a regular basis. I might do that kind of stuff on the weekend, and just keep my shorter lives for the week. Especially since, like I said, I do work during the day, and I do work at a kind of company where I'm front facing, meaning I deal with people. So for me, doing 6, 7 hours at night and then have to go to work during the day and deal with people, not a good idea. If I had a kind of job where, okay, I'm out in front of the computer and, I can have my live going while I'm working, okay, not a problem. I'm always glad that you're listening. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. Let me know if you're going live anytime soon, Rob, or if you have a video coming up, all right? Let's see. Okay, we're going to go to that first sentence here. So that's pretty much what we're going to do tonight. Da, da, da. So the two first here, en 1815, in 1815. Right, so we're learning a little bit of numbers here, and we're going to take the numbers one by one as well. Okay, so en 1815, in 1815, or 1815. So obviously one is un, one, eight, huit, huit. Of course, we have one again, and then five, cinq, cinq. Il y a cinq Monsieur Mireille dans la ville. There are five Mr. Mireille in the city. Of course, I just made that up. I'm not really sure. I don't think there's actually five or whatever the case might be. Right? So, en 1815, in 1815, Monsieur Charles François Bienvenu. So when you just see M and dot in French, that's the abbreviation for Mr. or Monsieur. Okay, not to be pause that, not to be confused with Monseigneur, which is a title that you give to a priest. When you greet a priest in French, you say Monseigneur, my lord, essentially. Okay? So it's a more formal way of greeting somebody, a religious person, with respect. Okay? So, Monsieur Charles, so Mr. Charles. Okay? So, en 1815, Monsieur Charles. In 1850, Mr. Charles François. Okay, so the first word here, François. Bienvenue. François, bienvenue. So, Mr. Charles Francis, welcome would be the actual translation to the name. So, en 1815, Monsieur Charles François, bienvenue. Mireille était évêque de Digne. So I'm going to repeat that. En 1815, in 1850, Monsieur Charles, Mr. Charles, so that first part of the sentence. En 1815, Monsieur Charles. In 1815, Mr. Charles. François, bienvenue. Mireille. They, when they have that little line here in a name, it's to tell you that the name continues. So technically, you see Mr. Mireille has three first names in one. Charles, Francis, welcome. Charles, Francis, bienvenue. So that's his first name, just as some of us will be called, I don't know, Eric or Patrick. Some people are called Eric Patrick, right? So this guy has three first names. Eric Patrick Steve, let's say. Okay, obviously that's not true in this case, but all right, that's what's going on here. Okay, so en 1815, Monsieur Charles François Bienvenu Mireille, François Bienvenu Mireille était évêque de Digne. So était évêque de Digne. Okay, so the fact that here Digne has a capital D means that it's a name of a city, a place, right? Could be a province. But don't forget, in France, they have provinces and not states, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's provinces that they have. Pretty sure. But if I'm wrong, please let me know, guys. All right. So we're going to repeat all of this together in a second here, guys. Going to get the music back. I just realized I didn't. There we go. So we're just going to repeat that sentence again, guys. En 1815, Monsieur Charles François Bienvenu Mireille était évêque de Digne. So in the sentence they're saying in 1815, Mr. Charles François Francis Bienvenu Mireille was the évêque. I know that's a higher place. I think there are two or three levels above a priest in the church. Let me look up what that title is in English. Bishop. There we go. Okay. So I knew it was like one of the higher levels of the Christendom, but I wasn't sure. Yeah. So évêque is bishop. Okay. So he is actually. So M here could actually stand for Monseigneur. Okay. Could technically, but most of the time when you see M dot, it is Mister. Okay. So en 1815, Monsieur Charles François Bienvenu Mireille était évêque de Digne. So in 1815, Mr. Charles Francis Bienvenu Mireille was the Bishop of Digne. Okay, so that's most of my, well, no, most, it's all of my French lesson for today, but I am a little bit curious as to whether France has provinces or states. So we're going to look that up together here and find out uh, together if I'm right or wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm right here. Okay. Well, it says it has 18 administrative regions. It doesn't tell me if they're considered as provinces or as states. I guess it's neither. Thanks. Thanks, Wikipedia. what what help you were. all the all 13 of the metropolitan administrative regions, including Corsica, are further subdivided into 13 administrative departments, with the prefect of each region administrative center department also acting as regional prefect. The overseas regions administratively consist of one department each and hence also have status of overseas departments. Okay, so they kind of are like Japan, where what Japan has prefectures, if I remember correctly. So it's neither really a province or a state. Okay, okay, France, be special. See if I care. Fine, be special. Alrighty. What can I say? What can I say? You know, as much as I like Wikipedia, sometimes I just want to know. Uh, oh well, here we go. Provinces. Okay, they do have provinces. The Kingdom of France was organized into provinces until the national. Okay. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Still, darn you. Darn you, Wikipedia. Why are you lying to me like this? Why you do me dirty? Why you do? I love you, Wikipedia. Why you doing me like this? Why you playing me so dirty like this? Wikipedia, why? Why you doing me like this? I love you, Wikipedia. Come on. I tell everybody to come see you and you do me like this. You do me like this. Oh, Wikipedia, come on. So the Kingdom of France was organized into provinces until the National Constituent Assembly adopted a more uniform division into departments and districts in late 1789. The provinces continued to exist administratively until September of 1791. The provinces of France were roughly equivalent to historic counties of England. Okay. Well, Wikipedia is divisive as you could be. At least you're informatively divisive. Because you're always giving us some good information. Okay. Thank you, Wikipedia. Even though sometimes today, Wikipedia, not giving you a nice face today. Not giving you my nice, pretty face today. Where's my face? Where's my face? Go to my back. Ah, there we go. Here's my back. Not giving you this face, Wikipedia. No, no, you're not getting this face, Wikipedia. No, no, you're not getting my French love face. No, no, not getting him. Oh my goodness, Wikipedia. What am I gonna do with you today? What am I gonna do? All right, so that's it for today, guys. I am fairly tired, and like I said, I just started a new job last week where, um, even though I did used to work full time for most of my career, it's been over 2.5 years since I haven't worked full time. And that same amount of time, I haven't woken up before 9 a.m. to get to work. So it's kind of putting me offset and really off balance. So I do have to get going and call it a day. But thank you, Rob, for being here and spending some time with me in the background. I'm sure yeah, sure. I hope you were at least learning some French with me, or at least about France and it having administrative regions and not states or provinces. But I'm glad that you spent a little bit of time with me today, Rob, and supporting me on my adventures into YouTube land. So I hope, Rob, you have a great night. And for those of you watching me on the replay, merci beaucoup. Thank you a lot. Have a great night, everybody. Bonsoir tout le monde. J'espère que vous passez une très belle semaine. Have a great week, everybody. And I'll see you tomorrow for my live about L'Heure Mauve, the purple hour. So I hope to see you tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow I'll feel a little bit more energetic and be able to give you a longer live. So have a great night, everybody. Merci tout le monde. Au revoir. Bye, everybody.